Hey guys, this is part one of Monmouth Courthouse. I've jumped straight in at the end of turn 4 here, as not an awful lot happened up until that point, excluding a lot of units moving towards their locations. So as you can see, the Americans have made a general advance towards Monmouth Courthouse down there, across this main road here, which is the main road towards Monmouth Courthouse. Lafayette leads in the way. General Lee has stopped off there. He has given wrong orders to Anthony Wayne up there, but hasn't been too bad as far as Lee's command. He's not sent any troops the wrong way, or it's told people to retreat or whatever, but Wayne has just had his movement basically cut down because of Lee's conflicting orders. Other than that, the only thing of real interest that's happened is Simcoe's been chasing down some militia units here, like just keeping them away from Monmouth Courthouse and just slowing them down just long enough for British reinforcements to arrive. He hasn't done much damage, he's just literally been chasing units off. Wayne, as you can see in the top right, he's going to try and aim down and outflank the British in the cider orchard there. So what I'm going to do is at the end of each turn I'll do a summary. So that's the end of turn 4. So we're going to start turn 5 now, and I'll be back to you by the end of turn 5. Hey, so we're back at turn 5, the end of turn 5. The British reinforcements have arrived, at least the main body of the British troops. So Grey and Cornwallis has entered the fray with Monckton and Erskine to take over the light infantry. Just a general advance down the road. The Hessians trying to catch up with Wayne and hopefully defend this stream here, but I think they may be too slow. So a lot's going to depend on the initiative of turn 6. Also in turn 6, I think the British are relieved of the rearguard action and can defend themselves properly. No real battles. Simcoe chased off the militia again to this Deacon Craig farm over here, and they've been reinforced by some American regular units to deter Simcoe from chasing them off even further. Lafayette leading the American advance to the blacksmith, while the advanced American forces are holding the hill over here near Keir Farm, and generally making a cautious advance onto Clinton's, because there's some decent troops down there, decent British troops. The light horse, not sure what to do, have resorted to hiding in the forest down here, when just kind of waiting out for an opportunity to arise. Lee again has blundered, sending Wayne's reinforcements up here with some much needed regular and cannon support, counter marching. So that's going to be a bit of a ball ache for the Americans. Also other units, as you can see here, down by the West Morass counter-marched as well, thanks to Lee's blunder. So, all in all, the American advance is making a slow but steady move forwards, while Simcoe's just kind of irritating them. And but now the British main forces have arrived, the Americans might have to rethink their strategy. So, on to turn 6. So this is the end of the Americans' turn on turn 6. The British are yet to go, but now things are starting to heat up. I thought I'd do a battle for each side, video for each side. So Wayne With the Americans winning the initiative, Wayne managed to cross the ford without any opposition, which is quite an important move there. It really has put the pressure on the British. Although Wayne can't hope to defeat this massive British army, the British don't want their forces to get tied up there too much, so they're probably going to have to retaliate to that, but I'm not sure how yet. Lafayette has made his stand around the blacksmith. He's got all his cannon ready, so yeah, the British no doubt will be going to take some pot shots at them with their defensive artillery, but we'll see how that goes. Simcoe is in a bit of trouble there as the Americans are marching up to get him, but yeah, they're not engaging just yet. Washington has showed up after Lee's continuous blunders, so yeah, he's back now to take command. Yeah, so we'll go to the British turn now and see how that goes. Okay, so end of British turn 6, and quite the eventful turn it was as well. Basically more British reinforcements turn up, and have countered Wayne up here. So yeah, that's Wayne's looking quite concerned now with all these British and German troops blocking him. Also, there's a lot of decent British troops heading down to Monmouth Courthouse. I think the Americans may need to rethink their attack completely now. It's a bit too strong to attack piecemeal anyway. Erskine and his light infantry are blocking the old road, so the Americans going to have trouble trying to fit enough troops down there to defeat him unless they maybe flank fire the forest. But then Simcoe again is a constant thorn in the American side, sending their light horse back to their regular units again. There's a little bit of artillery fire down here. The British artillery under Clinton shot and disordered the American artillery, so you can see there, while the American artillery under Jackson and Lafayette failed to do any real damage to the British. So British experience with the artillery paying off there despite being outnumbered. Again, the Americans just gradually moving up. I think they're going to have to redress their lines and maybe defend the hill and go on a more defensive role for the moment. So we're going to go on to turn 7 now, and I'll get back to you with that one. Okay, so end of the Americans, turn 7. We had quite a bit going on here. We had a little engagement down here with the American cavalry withdrew from the Queen's Rangers. We also had a bit of a skirmish up here. The Americans again readdressing their lines. They rallied their guns. More ineffectual fire from both sides this time with the guns. Lafayette chased off Simcoe, who then withdrew and was unfortunately blocked by Erskine here. There's too many troops on the road for him to pass. So the Americans took advantage of this and has basically pushing onto Simcoe, putting some real pressure on him there. He's probably in quite a bit of trouble now. So that's that. We have Wayne up here who decided to withdraw from that position and hold the ford, as opposed to being stuck on the other side. And if anything wrong happened there, he would have been in quite a bit of trouble. And also, again, his reinforcements failed to move thanks to Lee. But Lee has now been relieved of command as Washington has now taken over. So that's a good thing for the Americans. Also, Lord Stirling has arrived with his massive artillery caravan as well. So that's going to be a lot of support the Americans need. In the meantime, though, they're going to have to hold off against some quite beefy British reserves, which we will now go into the British turn and see what they can do. Okay, so end of turn 7, and quite an interesting turn. No attack on Wayne there. The British tried to save Simcoe there. Erskine did an attack on this bunch of Americans here and were beaten back without losses, but Simcoe's in a really dodgy position there after Erskine's failed attempt at rescuing him. Grey managed to capture an American artillery piece, was taken by surprise, although in the fighting the Black Watch, which headed the attack, had to retreat from defensive fire from the cannons, so Grey's looking in quite a precarious position there now that he's only got his own guns and the 17th, and he's now surrounded by Lafayette and the New Jersey regiments. Clinton and Monckton did a general advance up under artillery fire, again not taking any serious damage there, so it wasn't a big deal. So that was basically it, but as you can see there's a lot of manoeuvring there, and particularly up here Wayne's getting really pushed back, and now the British guns are in place. He really needs those reinforcements, but they're a bit too far away before the British actually attack and destroy him. So I think the next round's going to be very interesting, so let's see how it goes.